The views expressed by the host of the UNCLELOU show are the views of the host and only the host. The views expressed by the host on the UNCLELOU show do not reflect the views of every Georgia fan or every college football fan. The views expressed on the UNCLELOU show do not reflect the views of Lanier HVAC Services, who does great residential work. If you live in the Athens or Atlanta area or anywhere in between and need some work done, call the good people at Lanier HVAC Services. Tell them Uncle Lou said good morning. Seven 510-6817. Good morning. You're on with Tinfoil Lou. Changed his mind. Maybe he didn't want to talk to. Maybe he didn't want to talk to Tinfoil Lou. I don't know. Good morning, Uncle Flu, Prince 6'1", Terry the Android, David, Crimson and White, Dogs Fan 1196, Noel Hater, Natty Back Steve, Ryan Ridley. Nick Bro 01, Ronald Lampert, David, I think I already said that. Dennis Wilson, good morning. Landon the Sports Gamer, good morning. Braun Strowman, isn't that a wrestler? Good morning. Legacy Fighter. Drew Iced, good morning. John Cameron 5, good morning. Mark Fox, good morning. Master of Dreams, good morning. Yeah, good morning to all you people out there. Yep. Tinfoil Hat Lou today. It's been a long time since I've done one of these videos. I told myself I wasn't going to do these anymore because too many people were getting their feelings hurt, which is hilarious because the same people or the same type of person that was the ones getting their feelings hurt are the same types of people that run around the internet all day long calling people snowflakes and I don't know, whatever other made up words that Fox News tells you to call people. I don't know. But anyway, so I told myself I wasn't going to do any more of these. But what the hell? Then I remembered why not. So, good morning and welcome to the Tinfoil Lou Show. Well, this phone is going ham here. I'm not sure why. Let's see here. Sorry for the delay. Let's try this. Whoever this is must really want to talk to Uncle Lou really, really bad. I don't know. That's the only thing I can figure. I'm restarting it. Hold on. Restarting the app, but I had to wait for somebody to quit calling 100 times. I think it's reset now, though. So, we'll see if it's working now. 706-510-6817. Let's give it a try. Good morning. You're on with Tinfoil Lou. 2.
Lou, you know who it is here, Georgia Tech fan?
Yep. What's up, Georgia Tech fan? How was work today?
Like Donald Trump. I think he's a monster and a goblin. I mean, he's just so mean.
Donald Trump?
Yes.
He's a monster and a goblin, you say?
Yes.
Yeah.
That eagle in that photo, that is, it's just mean, man. Like, that animal had a home, grandkids, and maybe, great-great-grandkids. That eagle was just so important.
Yeah, I would agree. In fact, I think that eagle is an endangered species, as well.
But let's talk about conspiracy theories since you guys are
Let's do it.
Star Trek hat on. What do you think about the chemtrails?
Chemtrails?
Yeah.
Well, what do you think about them? And then I'll tell you if you're right or wrong.
I think they're just planes flying. Simple as that. Too much evidence.
Well, yeah.
Too much research.
Well, obviously, that's what they want you to think, and obviously, to a certain degree, it's working. You're proof of that. Obviously, it's not just plain exhaust or whatever you just said it was. The chemtrails are to keep you sick, sir. Chemtrails are to make you sick, and more importantly, keep you sick.
Well, I live in Fifth Avenue, and I see those things all the time, and I never get sick. I got the flu when I was 5. That's it.
Sir.
Too much evidence.
Sir, listen back. Listen back to every single call that you've ever made to the Uncle Lou Show, and then try to tell me you're not sick.
let me just get the script right here. I write all this stuff down like you assisted.
Yeah. You don't have to write it down, sir, because these videos upload to YouTube and they're there in perpetuity. So you can look back on these videos anytime you need to for reference.
I wrote a poem for you.
Okay,
Lou,
let's hear the poem.
like Bulldogs. Lou, like Georgia Bulldogs, but Monopoly is dumb. But Georgia is dumb. And Georgia Tech has smart citizens. You just got roasted. Goodbye.
Yeah, I definitely just got roasted. I can't argue with you there. Next time, try to make the poem a haiku, though, please. If you can. Maybe that would be a little bit better for you. Good morning, and you're on with Uncle Lou, too.
Hey, Uncle Lou, man, Scotty.
What's up, Scotty?
You're sweet. I love your channel, and you're doing your best.
Thank you, Scotty. I appreciate that, man. How you been?
I've been doing fine.
Yeah, seen any good movies lately?
Infinity War. The best movie I've seen in a long time.
Which one? Infinity War?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I saw that. You seen the new Star Wars, the Han Solo movie?
Yes, it was okay.
Yeah, it was all right. Yeah, but you're doing okay though.
Yes, I am, buddy.
All right, good. I need to come see you. I need to come see you up there at the movie theater.
Okay, I love you.
All right, talk to you later. Bye. That was a buddy of mine I've known since like 2nd or 3rd grade. Yeah, chemtrails. I mean, chemtrails are designed to make you sick and, more importantly, keep you sick. I mean, I don't think that's that big of a secret at this point. I think most people are aware of that. Now, the chemtrails are a joint operation between your friendly folks over at the United States government and the FDA, the Food and Drug Administration. They're designed to keep you sick. Obviously, the goal then being to keep you on as much medicine as possible. Good morning. You're on with Tinfoil Lou.
Yo, Lou.
What's up?
Mark Fox. And
what's
I'm
up?
back.
What's up, buddy?
Again. What's up? This is a straight up question because I don't think you've ever said this on video. I don't care what you are. Are you a Republican, a Democrat, or in the middle?
I'm a libertarian. I'm not registered with either political party. I'm a libertarian. I've voted. I've probably voted about 40% of the time for Republicans, about 40% of the time for Democrats, and probably about 20% of the time I voted for someone else, whether it was an independent or an actual libertarian or whatever. That's about how my voting is broke down. I voted for, I mean, I give you my entire, I can't remember every congressman I voted for, but I'll tell you my presidential voting history. I voted for Bill Clinton in 1996. I voted for George Bush in 2000. I voted for George Bush in 2004. I voted for Obama in 2008. I voted for Obama in 2012. And I wrote in John Kasich in 2016.
All right. Just want to get that out of the way. But are you one of those people with Donald Trump? You're not. Are you one of those people that say, "Oh, he's a racist and he's a sexist"? Are you one of them?
I'm not sure. I'm not convinced that Donald Trump is a racist, but I'm convinced that he thinks that racists are good for him. Like he has no problem with it.
It's always confused me because, like, even before he ran, nobody said anything about racism.
Well, that's not
no one said anything about
that's
it.
not totally true. That's a Fox News talking point, and that's not totally true. You can go all the way back to the 80s. No, you can go all the way back to the 80s, sir. The Central Park Five, sir. The Central Park Five. Google it if you don't know what it is. But Donald Trump has been accused of being a racist or doing racist things for as long as Donald Trump has been in the news. You hear about it more, obviously, when he starts running for president than you do when he's just building a building in New York City. But he's been accused of racist-type behavior as long as he's been in the news, sir. I'm not saying he's a racist. I'm saying he's been accused of it. So.
Well, I will definitely go look at that.
Yes, the Central Park 5.
Thing,
if you just Google it,
just
Google the Central Park 5. You'll be good.
All right. I don't watch the news. I don't trust that. I think they're telling you stuff that every news outlet to me is terrible. I don't watch any of it because they're lying. You just know they're lying. Can you agree with that?
Well, they all have their own agenda. That's 100% true. So I take sort of the opposite approach.
It's all biased. That's why I can't watch it.
I agree.
MSNBC
MSNBC hates Donald Trump. There's no, anybody that says they don't is an idiot. Fox News hated President Obama.
Yeah.
There was no difference. The way Fox News treated Obama is no different than the way MSNBC treats Trump, regardless of people want to say it is or whatever. No, it's not. Fox News basically, accused Obama for years of not being born here, of being a Muslim. The list goes on. And now MSNBC doing the same thing to Trump. Neither one is right, but the people that act like Trump is getting, treated some kind of way that's never happened before by the news is just totally false. Now I watch them all. I get what you're saying. I don't not watch any of it. I get that. That makes sense too. I choose to do the opposite though. I'll watch a little bit of Fox News. I'll watch a little bit of MSNBC. I'll watch a little bit of CNN, and then I'll read a lot of stuff on the internet. And there's no way for me to know whether half the stuff I'm being told or half the stuff I'm reading is true. I just try to come to the best informed decision that I can. When I see these memes floating around Facebook and I can do a 5-second Google search to prove it's false, like Pizzagate and all these wet dreams that some of these people have, it's just ridiculous.
Yeah, and I also agree with you about these right-wing people. They don't watch sports just because someone new. I think that's honestly ridiculous. I don't care if every Falcon player kneels during the anthem. I still love the team, and I'm going to watch them. It's just, you agree with that, right?
Yeah, it's never made any sense to me. I sort of get the argument that people make. Look, when I watch football or listen to this particular person's music or whatever, I just want to be entertained. I don't want politics to be a part of it. I understand people who feel that way, but you got to remember, these people are human beings. They're no different than me and you. They just happen to be supremely talented at football or music or whatever. So I don't think it's fair for us to expect these people not to have political opinions. Now, if those political opinions bother you to the point where you can't enjoy an NFL football game because a stranger that you've never met before kneels for 30 seconds during the national anthem while 30,000 people are in line getting beer at the stadium, but you choose to be pissed off by this stranger that kneels for 30 seconds that you'll never meet. Meanwhile, these people are laying on their couch getting pissed off because someone's not standing up during the national anthem. Let's just be real. These morons are not standing up in their living room with their hand over their heart singing the national anthem in their living room on Sundays. I don't care what people want to type in the comment section. No one's doing that. So if you're getting so pissed off about something like that you're actually going to say, that's it, I'm not watching the NFL, you're either an idiot, a snowflake, which these people spend half their day calling people snowflakes and then cry because a stranger takes a knee. But you're either an idiot, a snowflake, or you're lying, and you are watching it. And a lot of them are lying because they'll spend all season talking about how they'll go in these groups or on Twitter and I'm boycotting, I'm not watching, and then playoff time comes around, you click on their personal Facebook page and they're making a post every time the Falcons get a first down.
Sports for me are just a minute to keep my mind off stuff. I don't want to say, oh, that guy just disrespect. I just don't do that. That's just what some of these people do in it. Because I follow SportsCenter on Instagram, and every game almost, it's like, 10 players kneel during the anthem. It's like, I don't want that.
Right.
care what they do on the sideline. That's whatever. Ain't gonna affect my life. Personally, I'd stand for it myself, but them, it's whatever.
Yeah.
That's how they feel. It's how they feel. I want to get to another thing.
Well, hold on. Let me make one more point on the kneeling thing before we get off of that, because I don't want to come off the wrong way here. I fully support anyone's right under the First Amendment to express themselves. But the problem is, and this is where a lot of people get things wrong, the First Amendment does not protect you from your employer. Okay? You can't walk into you can't walk into McDonald's tomorrow, tell your boss to go F himself, and then if he fires you, sue him for violating your First Amendment right to tell him to go F himself. That's not what the First Amendment is. The First Amendment means if you go into work tomorrow and tell your boss to go F himself, the government can't throw you in jail. That's what the First Amendment means. So the NFL and these organizations have every single right to tell their employees, which is the players, you can't kneel. If you do, we're benching you, or we're fining you, or we're firing you, or whatever. It's not a First Amendment issue when you're at work. It's not. It's not a First Amendment issue. Now, with that being said, I think this thing has gotten totally blown way out of proportion, and it's all Donald Trump's fault. None of these people would have cared that 14 NFL players, or whatever the number is, were taking a knee during the national anthem if Donald Trump wouldn't be out acting like it was some big deal or attack on the military or attack on the flag. It's not. They're kneeling for police brutality and injustice and social. And look, whether you think that's right or wrong that they're doing that, doesn't mean that they hate America, hate the flag, or hate the national anthem. That's ridiculous. And Trump has turned this into a black and white thing. He's turned it into a military flag thing, and I don't get all that. But if the teams want to fire the players for doing it, that's within their... Uh-oh, he hung up. I might have been a little bit too long-winded, so he hung up on me. I don't know. Yep, good morning. It's Tinfoil Lou here.
How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. How are you doing?
I'm doing absolutely great. I just wanted to let you know what I thought about the Donald Trump versus Eagles issue.
All right, let's hear it.
I think, I'm an Oklahoma State fan. My name is Mark Johnson. I'm sure you've heard of me before.
Yep.
Yeah. And the first thing that I want to say is Eagles shouldn't have even won the Super Bowl. I don't know why. They shouldn't have won the
All right.
Russell Westbrook, a quarterback. I mean, no, not Westbrook. Okay, now what do I think? Okay, really what I think. I think that's ridiculous because I think they have a First Amendment right. They have the kneel, okay? That's what I think. And I think that, they can say, let's die for us to, we should respect them, but they also died for us to protest. No, I don't think it's a good idea. I think it's a terrible idea to protest. I mean, I think it's dumb, but they have the right. You know what I mean? You see where I'm coming from?
Yeah, I agree with you. And as far as I know, no NFL players have been arrested for kneeling during the national anthem, and that's what the First Amendment protects you from. The First Amendment does not protect you from your employer. So the NFL has a right to fine them or whatever. I agree with you. I think they should just let them do it, and who cares? It's not really that big of a deal. Some people, mainly Donald Trump, want to make it a huge deal when it really wouldn't have been that big of a deal if Trump wouldn't have had to put his 2 cents in on it or whatever. And then canceling the thing for the Eagles to come. Listen, the only reason Trump canceled the Eagles coming is because there was only 12 people coming and he didn't want a small crowd. That's it, period. That's the only reason. It's got nothing to do with the flag or the national anthem or respect. Trump didn't want to hold a party for 85 people and only 12 of them were going to show up. He didn't want to be embarrassed. So he canceled the thing and is turning it into another, the Eagles hate the American flag. Meanwhile, not a single Philadelphia Eagle kneeled last season. Not one. Some players did from other teams. Not a single player on the Philadelphia Eagles team at any point last season kneeled during the national anthem. So he's singling the Eagles out for absolutely no reason at all and dragging this whole mess back up again for no reason.
Right, I cannot agree with you enough. Personally, I am a liberal. Okay, I do identify as an attack chopper, and I agree with you. I just wanted to. I think what you do is great. I think just we get to bring these debates up and talk about them. I think your content is absolutely amazing.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I try not to talk about the politics type stuff all that often because it causes a lot of arguments and whatever. But I don't know, a couple of times a year I'll do these things here and let people express their opinions. So, but I appreciate all the kind words, sir. And yeah, and
keep it up.
Thank you, sir. I will.
Can I say one thing?
Yep.
Can I say one more thing?
Yep.
It may be related. It's gonna be related to college football, but it's just okay.
All right.
Georgia suck. Vandy wins the national championship, and Oklahoma sucks. Bye.
Okay. You heard it here first on Tinfoil Lou Show. Vanderbilt is winning the national championship this year. So, 706-510-6817. Top dog Travis Foskey, what's good, buddy?
What's going on, I'm trying to cut my freaking volume down now on my computer. I swear before going.
Yeah. Well, what's up, man? This is Travis Foskey. For those of y'all that didn't hear me in the beginning, he's called in several times before. He's heavily involved in some of these college football Facebook groups. Top dog, Travis Foskey. But what's up, buddy?
Not a whole lot. I'm trying to catch up with what you got going on here.
Oh, nothing. I just it's been a while since I did a tinfoil hat show, so I'm just letting people call in and tell me what they think of Donald Trump. Or whatever.
Right.
Somebody asked about chemtrails, whatever. Just government conspiracies, whatever. It's been one of those days.
Yeah, I got you. Well, I'm not, I'm pretty much, I sit in the middle on it. I'm watching you now, so I'm listening to you too, and also maybe even then some. But,
yeah.
When I look at the stock market and I look at, the jobs, I have a hard time coming up with something really, really bad to say about Donald Trump.
Oh, yeah. Well, the economy is on fire.
Yeah.
The economy is on fire, no question about it.
That's correct, yes.
Yeah.
I mean, it's better and guess what? It's better for all communities right now. And you know what? It very well could have been Barack Obama's doing in his policies prior to Donald Trump becoming president.
Well, some of it probably, but I mean, this is one of the main reasons. Some people were initially attracted to Trump. They figured, economy-wise, he would know what he was doing and could get some things turned around. And of course, Republicans in general, they're always going to get rid of regulations, make it a little bit easier on businesses, lower tax rates. Those are things that Republicans sort of always want. So, and he's done a lot of that. So, I mean, you can't knock him for the economy. I mean, the stock market is on fire. Unemployment is.
Can I ask you some questions on your thoughts and feelings on the regulations and the size of government?
Yeah.
Okay. I believe in a smaller government.
Me too, but there's not a single politician in Washington who shares our view. There is no party of small
I
government.
totally agree with that. Yeah. I mean, that's what. I guess we're going there, calm down. That's what Drain the Swamp's all about. There's not a politician in there that they can't run around and run to Walmart or whatever and buy a pack of toilet paper for, you know, $458,000 a year salary. I mean, but that's draining the swamp, bro.
Yeah, no, I agree, and that's one of the reasons that's made it hard. I used to, you know, it used to be Republicans were like I mean, I'm a libertarian. Technically, what that means is that I'm socially liberal and financially conservative. But there really is no financial conservative party anymore. I mean, the Republicans don't spend any less money than the Democrats spend anymore. They just spend it on different things. But there's nobody up there taking the budget seriously. I mean, if mine or your household was ran like the government runs the federal budget, we'd be homeless.
I totally agree. There's no doubt in my mind. What's it been in like 500 and some odd, you know, days or whatever?
Yeah.
I don't think anybody does. They just don't. You want to talk about Nancy Pelosi, George Soros? You know, why are they attacking Trump as hard as they actually are, Uncle Lou? When, you know, there are a lot of things that are looking better for America as a whole.
Well, most of it, I mean, I don't hear anybody attacking him like when it comes to the economy or anything like that. You know, listen, Trump brings most of this stuff on himself. I mean, he just does. If Trump would if Trump put Twitter down, if he would quit tweeting, a lot of this stuff would go away, and people are going to say, "Oh, it's just Twitter. They shouldn't make a big deal about it or whatever." Listen, if the president farts, it's a big deal. I mean, that's just the way it is. I mean, it's always been that way. And so, you know, you got this guy. The problem is normally a president thinks something, he discusses it with his cabinet, with his chief of staff, whatever. A couple of weeks go by, and then some announcement is made. That's not what's going on here. Something pops into his head at 6:30 in the morning while he's watching Fox and Friends, and then he makes 19 tweets about it. You know, and then Sarah Sanders and the rest of his little minions or whatever have to spend the next 2 weeks trying to walk back whatever boneheaded thing Trump tweeted out. I mean, he brings a lot of this stuff. He brings a lot of this stuff on himself, in my opinion.
I agree with you on this. I mean, for whatever reason, and now I do know that he don't make all the tweets himself, but it's like, why are you going to be just constant tweet? But anyway, I'm gonna move on. And what do you think about the top level North Korean person coming to the White House? My first thought, to be honest with you, Uncle Lou, was who remembers the movie Olympus Has Fallen?
Yeah. You know, obviously it would be amazing if we could come to some kind of agreement with North Korea, but I mean, I have mixed feelings on this whole nuclear weapon type deal. I mean, part of Trump's whole thing was we're gonna do us and forget everybody. You know, the whole America first thing. We're gonna do us, let everybody else do you, whatever. But listen, I don't understand why. Do I want North Korea to have a nuclear weapon? No, I don't want anybody to have one, to be honest. But like, I don't understand why we as a country want to have something, but then act like it's like our mind is blown that someone else wants to have it too. No nuclear country in history has ever been invaded. Is it possible that that's why North Korea wants a nuclear weapon? I mean,
well, I can tell you this. There's a lot of truth to what you just said, Uncle Lou, and you know, Japan came at us with non-nuclear, and now we house, or whatever you want to call it, their military, because of what happened at Hiroshima and whatever. But So America as a country felt bad, and so we're the lead in their country's military. So we put our own people on the line.
Yeah, I mean, North Korea can't have a nuke because they might use it. Well, breaking news. There's only one country on the face of the earth that's ever actually used a nuclear weapon against somebody. Only one. Us. But somehow we're the moral authority on, okay, you can have a nuke, you can have a nuke, you can't have a nuke, you can have one, you can't have one, you can... I mean, it doesn't make any sense to me. I mean, North Korea's got how many American troops sitting on their border right now? What percentage of the United States Navy is sitting right off their shores? And so I just don't understand why we act surprised that they might want some sort of weapon that they can use. I don't get it.
The only reason that we ever used those, though, Uncle Lou, was because of Pearl Harbor. The only reason we ever used those nuclear weapons.
I get it. And listen, I sort of... using those nukes probably did save lives in the end. Like, I'm not saying that was the right or wrong thing to do. I'm just saying we run around like we're like, somebody might use a nuclear weapon, but no one ever has except us.
Nobody else has attacked America on our soil, which that includes Japan. Because we took a hard stance, and that stance was we did drop 2 nuclear bombs in their mainland, and which I hate that we did that, but I'm thankful. I'm a United States Marine. Once a Marine, always a Marine. I know I'm no longer in the Marines, but. I know plenty of Marines that were on the DMZ or are on the DMZ. If y'all don't know what that is, imagine this: demilitarized military zone between North and South Korea. I have mixed thoughts on it. The only reason we did is because we were minding our own business. We stayed out of World War II until Japan came over and dropped, Pearl Harbor on us. Well, I mean, what do you expect the United States to do, Uncle Lou?
Go to war with Japan, but I don't think that, listen, obviously we should have went to war with Japan, but, that's not the argument. The argument is whether or not you should have used nukes and whether or not it's right for the only country on the face of the earth that's ever used a nuclear weapon to be running around telling every other country that they can't have one. Where was Osama bin Laden found? In what country?
Oh, look, I totally agree.
Pakistan.
He was boxed in, wasn't he, in Afghanistan?
He was found in Pakistan, being protected by the Pakistani military. Why are we not at war with Pakistan? Why do we not bomb Pakistan? I know why.
I'm not sure why.
I know.
I'm not going here right now with you, Uncle Lou.
They have nukes. They have nukes. That's why. That's why we don't screw around with Pakistan. They have nukes. That's why. Afghanistan's got BB guns, so we bomb them for fun, for target practice. Syria can't defend itself. Iraq can't defend itself. Syria can't defend itself. Pakistan's got nukes, so we don't go there. Now, whether you believe North Korea or not, and I don't believe anything they say hardly, but I'm not surprised that they want a nuclear weapon when they're surrounded by however many tens of thousands of American troops who've been there for 60 years, and we're not leaving. When the military goes somewhere, when the United States military goes somewhere, we're not visiting. It's not a house call. It's a permanent deal. We're not leaving. So we're still in Germany. It's been 80 years. We're still in Germany.
Ask Japan.
We're still in Japan. We're not leaving. So I mean, as Americans,
when we take that property, it's our property.
Right.
Now,
I get that.
Agree with that totally? No.
I get that, and there's some things that go along with that that you have to accept. One of those things is people are going to hate you as a people, okay? Listen, if I walked outside right now and looked to my left and right and saw Chinese military bases, I would probably hate China. Okay, so all these Middle Eastern countries that hate the United States or whatever, you know, they've been looking at American troops for 30 years. North Korea's been looking at American troops for 60 years. You know, so it's just, I don't know. America first, okay, fine. Can we bring some of these people home? The whole thing with North Korea, are they going to denuclearize or whatever? I don't know, and to be honest, I don't care unless it means that our troops get to come home from there, and let's just be real, that's not happening no matter what, so.
Hold on a minute, Uncle Luke. You got to give me a minute. I got to address one of your viewers, if you don't mind.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, he said that, I don't know what he said. I got to find it. He said, let's see, I'm going to get his name. Where you at, buddy? Uncle Lou is, I mean, I agree with Uncle Lou. I'm not disagreeing with him. I'm just putting in my talking points.
Daniel Turner, I'm not going to argue over my use of the phrase nuclear bomb when the technical weapon or the technical term is atomic bomb. If you or anyone else in the comment section is too retarded to know what I mean when I say we drop nukes on Japan, then there's nothing I can say to help you. Everyone, I promise you, everyone in the comment section knows what I mean when I say we nuke Japan. Everyone knows what I mean. I'm not going to get into the technical differences.
That's what I meant.
With that guy between what a nuclear weapon was in 1945 versus what an atomic weapon or a nuclear weapon is in 2018. I'm not going to do that. So.
This guy, damn it, whoever it was, he said, Uncle Lou demolished me. I don't know how Uncle Lou would try to even demolish me.
I'm not even trying to argue with you. I'm not even trying to argue with you. Look,
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, it's hard to have these discussions without it devolving into, well, you're an idiot. Okay, well, you're retarded. But that's what I'm trying to do here. And obviously, I have certain opinions and feel certain ways about certain things, and obviously, you do too. But that doesn't mean, and I think this conversation has proven that two people can have a rational, friendly conversation without agreeing on everything. Without name calling and I hate you or now I have to unfriend you or
demolish this guy. Well, this guy happens to be top dog Travis Foskey, and I'm very tight with Uncle Lou.
Yeah, I've been knowing Travis for a long time. I mean, this isn't if it's coming off as an argument, and that's not even yeah. Right. Yeah, I'm not even trying to argue. But anyway, let me go, Travis, and give somebody else an opportunity to call in and tell me what they think here.
Absolutely. That'll give me an opportunity to use my keyboard, type.
All right. Thanks for the call. All right.
All right, man, later.
All right. I got
type.
Yeah. All right. 706-510-6817. Good morning. You're on with Uncle Lou.
Hello?
Hey, good morning. Yep, it's me. You made it through. Congratulations. You're live on the air. There's literally a few dozen people listening right now. Don't be nervous.
All right. Just making sure my phone was cutting out.
Oh, you good?
Bender Rodriguez here.
Oh, what's up, Bender? Yeah, I recognize your name from the comments. Yeah.
Yeah, this is my second time calling in.
Mm-hmm.
Well, probably my seventh if you count General Voltard. I was hoping if I could talk a little bit of conspiracy theory with y'all.
Yeah, let's do it.
So there is one theory, like I don't really think of myself as that much of a conspiracist, but there is one theory that I do want to discuss with you, see if you agree with it.
All right.
So
So basically, I believe that if Hillary were to have won the election, how would you feel if I said if she were to win the election, it would eventually lead to the world takeover of the New World Order? Like, how would you feel about that?
I'm not totally convinced that the whole New World Order conspiracy thing is totally fake and made up, but I do think the theory as it's told most of the time is way too complicated to actually ever happen. I mean, we can barely get two people in this country to agree on whether it's Yanni or Laurel. I seriously doubt you could get enough people from enough countries to agree on enough things to have a real New World Order, one world government, whatever you want to call it. I find it hard to believe that in reality that could actually ever happen, even if there was an actual plan to do it. So even if the conspiracy theory is true, I don't think it could ever actually happen. And he hung up, or his phone got disconnected. Let's see if this is him again. Good morning, you're on with Uncle Lou. Or tinfoil hat Lou even, too. You there? Could be the NSA screwing with our comm lines here. This video was flagged from the get-go just because of the title. And then as soon as I put the tinfoil hat on, you already know there's a room full of people somewhere listening to this show now. But, hell, and probably from a room right here in Uncle Lou's hometown of Augusta, Georgia. You know, Fort Gordon is here. And that's the largest illegal spying operation in the world. It takes place right here in Uncle Lou's backyard at Fort Gordon. FISA warrants, FISA courts, and all this kind of stuff, the Patriot Act and all that. Of course, this is something Uncle Lou's been telling you guys about for like 2 or 3 years. Now, a lot of people are on my side on it now because Trump and some of his people got caught up in it with these illegal phone taps and secret warrants and all that. But I've been telling people for years this was a terrible idea. You know, George Bush and Congress passed this stuff while you guys were asleep at 1:30 in the morning, like 6 days after 9/11 happened. Tried to tell you they was going to protect you from terrorists. No, they just listening to you. That had nothing to do with it, to be honest. It's just a giant illegal spying operation. People used to tell me, Lou, why do you care? Why do you care if the government eavesdrops on you, even if it's illegal and unconstitutional? Why do you care? If you don't have anything to hide, then why do you care if they listen? Of course, now those same people are crying because Trump's people got spied on, right? And they got this information or whatever and then used it, whatever. You know, and now all of a sudden the Patriot Act is terrible. The FISA warrants are terrible. The FISA court system is a joke. But 2, 3, 4 years ago when I was trying to tell people this, they didn't want to hear it. You know what they used to tell me? They used to, if you ain't got nothing to hide, then why are you worried about it? Of course, now they all done changed their mind. But, yeah. 706-510-6817. If you want to be on the show. Tinfoil Lou show. Tell me how you feel about President Trump. Did y'all ever see any of those tinfoil hat shows I used to do back in the day? Well, some of those things are weird, ain't they? During the election, I did like 4 different 15-minute tinfoil hat videos. I did like one for each candidate. So there was one called like, what if Donald Trump wins? What if Hillary Clinton wins? What if Bernie Sanders wins? What if Ted Cruz wins? There's like 3 or 4 of them. And they're all like 10 or 15 minutes long, and they're weird as hell. If you guys haven't seen them, you should try to find them and watch them. They're really, they're out there. Good morning. You're on with Uncle Lou, too.
Hey, Lou, it's Squidtard.
What's up, Squidtard?
Alright, so I'm just going to give you a little... I'm just going to say something.
All right.
About all of this political stuff. Just stop, okay? I mean, not stop with your opinion, just stop. You said that you weren't going to say anything about all of this political stuff. You weren't going to ever make your live shows political, and here you are. Here you are talking about some crap that is just turning the comment section into. I'm sorry. I'm just.
Well, I haven't even been paying
mad right now,
attention to
Lou.
the comment section. What is it? Is it like a Royal Rumble in there?
Yeah, pretty much.
Hold on.
But I am.
Let me take a live look here into the comment section.
Type.
Oh my God! Yeah, they look mad. Yeah, they look pretty. They look pretty mad.
I will say something
What's up?
about the Trump canceling the meet because the players were kneeling and saying they weren't going to come to the White House.
Right.
I'm going to say something. It was right for Trump to do that. Now, then you can say it was pity or something because he should have just invited the 14 players or whatever, but you have to know the players who kneel, they're basically just giving a big fat middle finger to our country.
But no,
They don't even know what they're
that's your
protesting
opinion,
for.
sir. If a man kneels down and says, "I'm kneeling down for because of police injustice, whatever," who are you to tell that man he's lying to you? Like who are you to tell someone why they're doing something? He's telling you. The NFL player is telling you in plain English why he's doing it. The person that's telling you he's disrespecting the flag is Donald Trump, not the NFL player. The NFL player told you why he's kneeling. It had nothing to do with the flag or hating the country. That's Donald Trump telling you that, not the NFL player. And none of the Philadelphia Eagles ever kneeled. Not a single Philadelphia Eagles player kneeled last year. Not one.
I saw all of them, not all of them, but most of them were kneeling, and I look at other NFL games, it's not just
No.
the
I'm sorry.
Eagles.
Listen. I don't mind people calling up here and giving different opinions and stuff like that, but people aren't going to call up here and verbally express fake internet memes. Not a single Philadelphia Eagles player kneeled during the national anthem during the 2017 season. Not a single one. Not one. Not a single one. There was about four players. There was about 4 players that did a raised fist during a national anthem. Not a single Philadelphia Eagles player took a knee during the national anthem. Not one. The reason the Eagles didn't want to go.
Like to show it on TV.
What?
I feel like they just want to. I feel like they just want to show it on TV.
Every Sunday I saw players kneeling. They love to show it. But they didn't show it. But you won't find any video of a Philadelphia, and I'm not talking about a still picture. There are still pictures floating around of Philadelphia Eagles players kneeling with the caption, "We hate the Eagles," or whatever. Those are not taken during the national anthem. Those are before games or after game prayers, sir. It's like that. Look, the liberals made one too. The liberals made a meme of Tim Tebow kneeling, but it was after a game when he was praying. But the meme says, no one cared when this white Christian took a knee, but now black guys take a knee and it's a big deal. Well, Tim Tebow, it's not the same. And it's the same thing with these Eagles memes. Not a single Philadelphia Eagles player kneeled during the national anthem. Not one. So let's just tell the truth when we're here on Tinfoil Lou.
Even if nobody kneeled during the national anthem, the Eagles didn't or anything like that, it's still, even if another team's players do it, it's awful. It's basically disrespecting the country. And you realize people died for our country, and you just have people kneeling, and half the time they don't even know what they're kneeling for. They just do it because everybody else does it, and they think it's cool. No.
I couldn't what's more I mean, I don't understand. What's more disrespectful? A football player telling you, "I'm going to kneel during the national anthem in protest of the treatment of black people by police," or a 45-year-old white man standing in line to buy 3 beers while the national anthem is playing? What is more disrespectful, in your opinion?
What does this have to do with anything?
You're saying it's disrespectful for a player to take a knee during the national anthem. You're saying it's an insult to the country and an insult to the flag. What about the 45-year-old man at the same football game, 45-year-old white man at the same football game that's standing in line to buy 3 beers while the national anthem is playing? Is that disrespectful? Shouldn't he be standing out with everyone else facing the flag with his hand on his heart? Does he hate America? Does the 45-year-old who paid $500 to go to that game, does he hate America because he's standing in line to buy 3 beers while the national anthem is playing? Does he hate America, or only the player, or is it just the player that's kneeling that hates America? Which one of those two people hates America, so that I can understand?
The person kneeling, because they're basically saying, I hate America, and the person going to buy whatever is just not doing anything. He doesn't hate America for anything, so that's completely different.
Why does the player kneeling? Why does the player that's kneeling for police brutality hate America?
Okay, that's for police brutality, but he doesn't say. Okay, if they are, they're doing it because everyone else is doing it.
But everyone else isn't doing it, sir. It's a very small percentage of NFL players. You're talking about less than 50 people here that kneel during the season. So who are all these followers that you're talking about?
I've looked at other games, and at least more than half are doing it.
You didn't look at other games. You boycotted.
Boycotted what?
Didn't you boycott the NFL?
I didn't exactly boycott them, but I basically just said I'm not going to watch this crap because they're kneeling during the national anthem.
So if you weren't watching it, then how did you see all these people kneeling? This is the Twilight Zone. Sir, listen. If a man tells you, I'm kneeling and this is the reason why don't you take him at his word, sir? Well, I mean, you're calling him a liar. He's telling you why he's kneeling. Well, why not take him at his word? Now, you can say, I think that's the wrong way to protest or the wrong time or whatever, but the man is telling you why he's doing it, and if your whole thing is the national anthem is sacred, and this is what Trump tells you to say, the national anthem is sacred, and yada, 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 if it's that sacred, then why is 50-year-old white man in line buying as many beers as he can carry while the national anthem is playing? Why aren't those people sons of bitches?
I really can't argue right now because you.
I don't want to argue. I'm not trying to argue. I'm asking. I'm legitimately asking if the whole point is that it's Trump. Trump says he doesn't care about the protesting. They have the right to peaceful protest, but don't do it during the national anthem. The national anthem is sacred. Yada yada yada. If the national anthem is so sacred, then should people be taking a shit during the national anthem at a stadium? Should they? Or should they be in line buying beer? I mean, should they be doing? Is there anything that's acceptable to do while the national anthem is playing other than stand up with your hand on your heart? Is there anything else that's acceptable to do, or is that the only thing you should be doing? And all these other people, including a lot of people in the comment section, and probably you, Squidtard, at home watching these football games, getting mad because the NFL players are kneeling during the national anthem. Where were you and what were you doing while you were getting mad about the players kneeling during the national anthem? You most likely were laying on your couch. You weren't standing up in your living room with your hand on your heart, were you?
If I said I was, would you be surprised?
I'd be completely shocked.
You probably would, but.
And if you are, I'm not going to call you a liar. If you are, if you say you were, I believe you. I'm not going to call you a liar on something I can't prove. But what percentage of people that are in their living room on a Sunday afternoon watching the NFL, what percentage of those people do you think are standing up with their hand on their heart while CBS is playing the national anthem at 1 o'clock in the afternoon?
I'm not going to argue with this. I'm not going to argue with this anymore. You may have won. I don't care anymore, but just listen.
It's not win or lose.
I don't want you arguing about all this stuff, because this is a football talk show, not a political leftist talk show types of anything. So just please stop talking about this. Move on with another topic that's about football, because that's what you said. You wanted this to be a football talk show, nothing political, and here you are talking about something that's political.
Well, the nighttime show is a little different though, but you're right. The daytime show is for that. But yeah, but sometimes we do different things here on the nighttime show. But I do respect and understand your opinion, and you know, I don't do this very often, and I'm trying not to. I mean, I'm not here to preach to anybody or tell anybody they're right or wrong. I'm just here for conversation, not even really debate. So, but conspiracy theories is probably a safe way to go with this conversation, as opposed to President Trump.
Well, whatever. I think I'm just gonna hang up now. Well, it was good talking to you, Lou. I'm sorry I had to talk about that. I just got really frustrated.
That's okay. Hey, it's all right. Y'all be sure and subscribe to Squidtard too. He has his own channel, so when you see his name in the comment section, click on it or whatever to take you to his channel, and y'all sub him up. Good morning. You're on with Tinfoil Lou. Go ahead. You're on. I hear you breathing. Let's go. What is this? The NSA?
I would like to can we talk about the national anthem thing? Because I would like to add something to the conversation that you guys were talking about.
Okay.
Well, first of all, yeah, I agree with a lot of things that you said. Like everyone, yeah, I've been to a couple NFL games myself. People are like buying beer and shit during the national anthem. I think it's ridiculous. Like, you know, but there are like the thing you said, that the last guy, he said they don't even know what they're protesting about. Like half of the, like, it started out with like, first it was about Black Lives Matter, and then it was about police brutality, which I guess they were the same thing. And then it was because Donald Trump, you know, he called them sons of bitches and stuff. You know, it was like all over the place, if you know where I'm coming from.
No, yeah, I get it. And like my only issue with Trump in this whole thing is that I feel like he inserted himself into this situation where he really didn't need to. Like,
can you say that again, please?
I feel like Trump inserted himself into this situation where he really didn't need to. I mean, as president of the United States, I think it's okay sometimes to be above certain things, and maybe this is something he shouldn't have waded into. I feel like he's made this a lot bigger problem than what it would have been had he just stayed out of it from the beginning. I feel like the NFL and the NFL Players Association Union, I feel like they probably could have came to some sort of middle ground on this a long time ago, and this story would have been long gone. And for whatever reason, Trump just seems unable or unwilling to let it go.
Yeah, it first started happening. Obama was president, you know, when Kaepernick started it, and I felt like it was starting to die down a little bit. And then Trump, he said something about it. It happened like a while before until when he said it, and it erupted. Like everyone started doing it, and I'm like, I can see both sides. Like when I talk with people, or when I argue, or whatever you want to call it, like I listen to both sides, and I felt like he could have done that, but he didn't.
Yeah, I mean, I see arguments on both sides too. Like I see interviews on the news with like veterans and stuff, and they're like, to me it's disrespectful, and and I've even seen some veterans that say, look, I support like the whole equality thing, and I get it that the there's some problems with policing in America and stuff. I just feel like using the national anthem to draw attention to it is the wrong way to go. Like I hear people saying that, and I get that. Like I understand that point of view. I don't think that's a crazy or ridiculous point of view. Like if someone's truly upset that they're using, or they feel like the players are using the national anthem, and they shouldn't be doing that to draw attention to police inequality or whatever. I understand that. What I don't understand is President Trump making it out like the NFL players that are kneeling somehow hate America or are anti-flag or are or whatever. I don't think those two things. Like, I think you can think what the players are doing is inappropriate without drawing the conclusion that they must hate America.
Well, what I see it is Trump. I mean, he was over dramatic with it. I feel like these players they have a platform that they can use to spread awareness to all these issues, and like that. Not a lot of people have, but I do have some issues with all this, but at the same time I can agree, like you said, like I can agree with like these players, they need a platform, and that not a lot of people can that they can use to express like what happens in some of these communities and so on.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I get points on both sides of it. Could the players have come up with maybe a better way to draw attention to an issue that obviously they're very passionate about? Maybe they could have. And I still think it's the team's right, if they want to force them to not be able to do it. Like, to me, it's not a First Amendment issue. First Amendment protects you from the government, not your place of employment. Like, if a player kneels and the owner of that team says bench him or whatever, or fine him or fire or cut him or release him, like the whole Colin Kaepernick thing, it might not be fair what happened to Colin Kaepernick, but it's not a First Amendment issue. A team is totally within its right to fire a player for something they do in the workplace. I mean, wherever you work, go to work tomorrow and tell your boss to go F himself. If your boss fires you, it's not a violation of your First Amendment.
Yeah, that's where most of the people on Twitter or all over the internet, they're saying it's a First Amendment violation, but it's obviously not, because the NFL, like you said, it's an employer. But I gotta say, I do not like Colin Kaepernick though. Like he went, he like everything, like I like how he's trying to like stand up for people, but him he's wearing like pig socks and like Cuban shirts, like I don't know, it's just a weirdo to me.
Yeah, like, and I think, and a lot of people feel the same way you do, and I think I think it's perfectly okay, and there's a lot of people like that. I don't like every single NFL player that's taken a knee, but like, to me, that's separate from the issue overall, though. Like, I'm not a huge Colin Kaepernick fan. I didn't like him that much when he played, but I do think there are some valid points to be made with the issue that they're trying to draw attention to. That doesn't mean I have to like the person that's doing it, whether it's Colin Kaepernick or any other player.
Yeah, I have to agree with that. Kaepernick, like the examples that they were using, in my opinion, like they weren't good ones. Like the whole Black Lives Matter movement. That's why he kneeled. Is the whole Black Lives Matter movement. Like with what was the guy, Michael Brown? That's what sparked it all. And that guy, in my opinion, he wasn't like some gentle giant like they all said he was. And yeah, there are some bad cops out there, but you can't just say like all police officers, like they're.
No, of course not. Yeah, I mean, I know tons of police officers personally. I have a cousin who was killed in the line of duty here in Augusta. He was cut in half with an AR-15. He got off his motorcycle for a routine stop and didn't make it 2 or 3 feet from his motorcycle, and the guy got out of the driver's seat of his car with an AR-15 and mowed him down right on the side of the road. I mean, what cops do every day, I mean, most of us could never do it or would never want to do it. So I'm not against cops, but at the same time, to act like there's not an issue with some of the things that are happening with policing in general in this country, I think you're just, I just think there is. I think there are some issues. And as far as the racism aspect of it goes, I think it has more to do with institutional racism than it does personal or individual racism. I think it's a cultural thing that just happens inside of some police departments that's been stoked over years and years and years and years and years. And I think sometimes what happens is black people sometimes get treated differently by police officers than white people. And that's why a lot of times when these videos go around, you'll see a black cop throwing a black guy on the ground, or it's got nothing to do with the color of the cop or whether the cop is racist or not. It's an institutional thing in some cases. And I think it's a deep issue. I think it's a real issue, but whether or not what the NFL players are doing is the right or wrong way to go about it, I don't know.
I have to agree with that. Like, I feel like it's a culture thing. Like, as you said, like, they got to do better. Like if they don't, like, when all this, racial profiling, police brutality, and like, you make up like 13% of the population and you commit like 50% of like violent crimes. Of course, the cops are going to be on their toes a little bit. That's why some of these cops, they have itchy trigger fingers, and they and some of them were bad shoots, I'll admit, but some of these like cops, they shoot because it's just the way it is, like with the whole culture thing, as you said.
I mean, I get it. If I was a cop, I'd be scared to death every time I got out of the car, whether it was for speeding or some sort of investigation into an actual crime or what. Like, I can't imagine what it's. My brother was a cop for a while, and I mean, he never really, luckily he never ran into any trouble or anything like that, and he doesn't do that anymore. But I mean, I'm not anti-cop or anything. I've been accused of that a lot, but. The thing is, if you go to Publix and the bagger there is having a bad day, then you're going to get home and maybe your bread is ruined. He puts something heavy on top of your bread in the bag. You run into a cop that's having a bad day and you might not get up the next morning. And so I just feel like, it's a fine line. I don't know if like more training is the issue. I mean, I have no idea. I'll admit I don't know what the answers are. It's just obvious to me that there's a problem. I don't know how to fix it.
Yeah, it's that last guy you're talking to, and he didn't know what the hell he was talking about. I don't know. He was saying that, like, it's like so disrespectful to our military, people in the military. I feel like they defend the Constitution. They don't defend a national anthem or anything like that. They defend the Constitution.
Well, yeah. I mean, the whole point behind freedom of speech is to protect unpopular speech. You wouldn't need an amendment to protect popular speech. Like that's the entire point, is to protect speech that pisses people off. Now, again, I'll repeat in case there's someone new listening, I do not think the NFL situation is a First Amendment issue. It's an employer-employee issue. First Amendment has to do with protection from the government. But I don't know. I just feel like, I'll give you this example here. Somebody on Facebook the other day in one of these Facebook groups, and I'm not going to say the person's name. If you're friends with me on my Facebook page, then you probably already have seen this. But a friend, someone in a group somewhere said South Carolina State, which as you know is an all-black college, called it a school full of monkeys. That's obviously racist. There is no defending that.
Yeah.
Like, if you say South Carolina State or any all-black college and you refer to it as a school of monkeys, that's racist. There's no defending that. I screenshotted it and I posted that on my Facebook page, and the amount of people doing mental gymnastics in the comments section to try to justify or prove that what that person said was not racist blew my mind. And I just said, well, we're a lot further away as a culture than I thought we were when there's people that will defend this or try to say it's not racist. It makes you sad almost that there's people out there that still truly feel that way.
Yeah, there's racism out there, but I feel like, there's douchebags out there. There's racism, but people act like it. Like, these people act like it's literally everywhere where they go.
Yeah, and obviously it's not. Yeah.
Maybe I'm not seeing the same shit.
And the whole South thing.
2018.
Listen, I've lived in the South my whole life, but I've spent a lot of time up north, and I've got some family up north. This isn't a Southern issue. And I get a lot of this in the comment section on YouTube all the time from fans of, Big Ten teams or whatever, and they think, you must be a racist if you're. I don't know if you saw. I did a review on the movie Black Panther. I didn't say anything about race, and it was just a straight movie review, and I gave it like 3.5 out of 5 loos or something. Somebody went absolutely ape shit in the comments section. Somebody that doesn't know me, they never watched any of my other videos. They just stumbled across that Black Panther thing. Could tell I was from Georgia because of all the stuff in the background. And just went on and on about what a racist I am because I only gave Black Panther 3.5 out of 5. And if it would have been a white superhero movie, I would have given it 5. I mean, this guy, it was just unreal, unbelievable. I've had black people also tell me they don't need white people sticking up for them, or I forget how they worded it, fighting their battles or whatever. Well, yeah, they do. You do. This problem isn't going to be solved by one race. It has to be both races have to be involved.
Yeah, I totally agree. I saw Black Panther too. It was mediocre at best, but
yeah, I thought that was fair. 3.5 out of 5. Like, and I said in the movie, like, I was like, Ant-Man's my favorite Marvel movie. This is nowhere close to Ant-Man. And of course, this idiot's all in the comments saying, "Oh yeah, the guy that played Ant-Man was white. You don't like Black Panther because it's black." I was like, oh my god. So you just can't win with some people.
Well, yeah, I remember when Black Panther came out, it had its first bad review. Everyone went like you said, everyone went ape shit over that. I find that shit funny. It's a movie. It's not a goddamn civil rights movement.
Yeah, we talked about this at the very beginning of the show. I'm not sure if you were listening or not, but the whole thing where people get mad if an actor. Like, people who like Trump get mad if an actor says something bad about Trump, and then they're like, well, not watching any more of his movies. Like, why do you do that to yourself? Like, can't you just enjoy the movie without trying to interject politics into every aspect of your life? Like, if I go, look, listen, Tom Cruise is a lunatic. Like, he's a Scientologist. He's got some of the most off-the-wall political and religious type views I've ever heard. I still like the Mission Impossible movies. One doesn't have anything to do with the other.
Yeah, or Top Gun. But I kind of do deal with them with that.
I watch sports to watch sports. I watch movies to watch movies. But it doesn't hurt me as bad if, like, a celebrity, like discusses their political views. Like, they could be wrong or they could be stupid, but that's not going to make me not want to, watch any of their movies ever again.
Yeah.
I do like I do like to watch the NFL for football or college football for football, not for politics, like what ESPN has become. Like, I wish they would keep that stuff out, but it's kind of hard not to,
You know what? You know what really screwed ESPN is when First Take started to get popular with Stephen A. Smith and what was the other guy's name? He's gone now, but that white guy, Skip Bayless, and they basically argued the whole show, right? They would pick a topic and they would just argue about it. And that show got so popular because of those two just arguing. And now if you watch ESPN, pretty much every show, they might have a host, but then it'll be one person on one side of an issue and one person on another side of an issue. And it's like ESPN said, oh, look, this First Take, people like watching these people argue. And now, like, every show on ESPN is just people arguing. And then they put the politics in it. And, of course, that makes it even worse. And so I agree, and people call me a libtard and all that all the time or whatever, but I agree that the whole ESPN thing has just gone a little bit too far now. Everything on there is just two people arguing over something.
Yeah, ESPN, it got bad. I turned on a First Take one time, and they're talking on, they're the Houston Astros, they won the World Series. They're talking shit about the team because they went to the White House. But my view, like, the same thing happened with the Eagles. They're not allowed to go. I agree with what you said. Like, none of them took a knee to the national anthem. I feel like it's just because Trump doesn't like the NFL. I feel like that's why he did it.
Yeah, I mean, you can go back to the early '80s, and Trump tried to start that other football league, and he's been sort of at odds with the NFL for 35 years.
Yeah, they were talking about the Astros, and like when they were talking about like how they're shitheads because they went to the White House. But if I was a player, I would go to the White House.
Lou makes me so damn mad.
Because I like the White House because it's a historical building. That's why I would go, because not many other people get to go.
I feel the exact same way. If I was lucky enough to get an invite to the White House for any reason, I would like to think I would go just for the experience of saying I went. Now, obviously, I can't put myself in the shoes of some of these athletes who are now choosing not to go. Like, I heard they had one of the Philadelphia Eagles on the news earlier today, and he was like, look, none of us took a knee or anything during the whole thing or whatever. He was like, but then we see President Trump on TV calling NFL players, sons of bitches or whatever, and like, they took that personally. These players did. Like, even the ones that weren't kneeling are friends with some of the people that were kneeling and stuff like that, and they just felt like Trump was in the wrong with the way he was talking to them. Like, they felt like they were being talked down to or disrespected or whatever. And from what this guy was saying on the news today, that's why the majority of the players on the Eagles made the decision not to go. Not because of the kneeling or the whole national anthem fiasco, but just the way that President Trump has talked about NFL players over the last year or however long it's been.
Yeah, man. That makes a lot of sense. But I gotta go. But thanks for having me on the show.
Yeah, it was a good call. Thank you. I appreciate it. 706-510-6817 if you want to call and have a rational discussion about politics or conspiracy theories or whatever. We can do that. I'm not going to argue. If you call, don't call up looking for some kind of an argument here. That's not really what I want to do. But if you're capable of having a rational, calm discussion about any of these topics that we're talking about, then you're welcome to call in. Good morning. You're on with Tinfoil Lou.
Hi, Uncle Lou. How you
All right, just say what you want to say, man. Hurry
Is
up.
Elmo coming in? Hello?
Yep.
You think Elmo can run for president?
Who?
You think Elmo can run for president?
Yeah, I think Elmo can run. If Trump can win, anybody can win, sir. So I think Elmo's got just as good a chance as anybody else.
Yeah, I've been doing a lot of studies and stuff, and I don't think it's president running for today. I don't think he's good enough. I think I should run for president.
Hey, how you been doing, though?
What do you mean?
I mean, how you been doing?
I mean, I just be walking around just having fun with the kids.
So you been doing good?
Yeah, I've been doing good. I've been keeping stuff going, It's Elmo's fault,
And everything's been okay? Everything's good?
Yeah, it's been alright. I've been making it through, though.
Yep, and how you been, though?
What do you mean how I've been? I told you already.
Everything's been good, then?
Yeah, everything's been good, Uncle Lou.
And how's everything been going?
Uncle Lou, you're getting me mad.
Well, but you been all right, though?
Yes, I've been alright, Uncle Lou. I told you that already. I'm not getting a little headache now.
And everything seems to be going good?
I'm going bye-bye. Bye-bye, Uncle Lou.
Good morning. You're on with Tinfoil Lou here. I should change their mind. I don't know. Good morning, you're on with Uncle Lou here. I'm gonna reset it. Maybe the problem's on my end again. I don't know. It's possible. I'm not sure how likely it is, but it's possible. Well, honestly, I don't think this show could have gone any better. Oh man, was this a good idea? I don't know. The Xbox broke. I gotta get another one. Yeah, we better get back to the Xbox streams pretty quick, because if I do any more of these shows, that might be the death of LouTube. Good morning. You're on with
Hello?
Tinfoil Lou.
Oh, hey, how's it going? This is Harrison, your mod.
Oh, what's up,
LSU
Harrison? What's up, buddy?
So yeah, can we talk about the Miami LSU game?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so I know you're not the biggest Ed Ogeron fan. I'm not either, personally.
Right.
I think we should have kept. Hello?
Yeah, I'm here. Go ahead.
Oh yeah, personally, I'm not a big Ed Ogeron fan. I think we should have kept Les Miles, and I don't think. I mean, it's kind of a battle between two bad coaches if you look at it, Mark Richt and Ed Ogeron.
Well, yeah, I mean, my feelings on Orgeron are pretty well known at this point, but I mean, who's playing quarterback for LSU? Do we know, or is it a competition, or what? I mean,
it's going to be Joe Burrow, probably. They're saying.
And tell me about him. Because I'll be honest, maybe I should know who that is, but I don't, and I don't get a lot of LSU people to call in to tell me. Is that a freshman? Is he somebody that's been around for a while?
He's the graduate transfer from Ohio State.
Oh, okay. I do know who that is now. Then, okay. Yeah. Now,
yeah.
What is he a runaround type of guy, or what? A pocket passer?
They said, I think in high school he was a dual threat kind of, but he plays more pocket in college. The games that he has played.
Okay.
He's
I know.
kind of like a Jared Stidham kind of.
Oh, okay. So he can run around if he has to, but he can actually throw the ball. Okay. Well, I mean, I sort of feel about like LSU a little bit like I've been feeling about Michigan over the last couple of years. I've been hard on Michigan and LSU, but I sort of feel the same with both. Like, if they could get some quarterback play, like, I think LSU and Michigan both probably would have won one or two more games per season over the last couple of years if they would have had a better quarterback. Like, I just really feel like those two teams have been held back by quarterback play. Right? I mean, LSU had elite running backs. I mean, Fournette and Geis are...
And they both have defense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, LSU puts 10 players a year in the NFL every single year. And a lot of those are defensive guys, defensive backs especially. And they've got talent. I mean, they consistently recruit well. So, I mean, even though I'm not a huge fan of Orgeron, you just feel like if they could get a quarterback, you really feel like they could be a pretty good team, right? You there? Am I talking to myself again? What happened to you, man? You there? I don't know. He's there, but he's not saying anything, so I don't know. What's LSU's running back situation, too? They had Fournette. He was a stud. He leaves. You got Darius Geis there, another stud. I mean, I'm sure LSU has another running back in line. I couldn't tell you who it is right now, but I can't imagine them not having a good running back. They just need a quarterback, don't they? Good morning. You're on with Lou too.
Hey, I think I know you're an SEC homer, aren't you, Uncle Lou?
Oh, big time. I can't help it. It's a blessing and a curse.
Okay, well, I understand, but all the Power 5 teams are extremely overrated, and I think that instead of calling it the Power 5, we need to call it the Power 6 and add the Sun Belt Conference to that discussion. What do you think?
Name the 6 good teams in the Sun Belt Conference.
Easy. All right, you got Troy, Appalachian State, Arkansas State. Georgia State had an okay year for being a young program. There's your 4 right there. Every other conference has only got like a few that they can say that they have that are even close to being able to be in the playoffs or anything like that. Way more in the Pac-12, especially more in the Big 12. So, Sun Belt could go all the way. You put them in that discussion,
App State has lost every game they've played to a Power 5 team over the last 10 years by an average of 40 points.
So?
Kind of hard to say they're better than a Power 5 team when they can't beat one, and not only that, they lose by 40.
Sure they can. They had that one win against Michigan like 11 years ago or whatever it was.
Yeah, since then, they've lost every game they've played against a Power 5 team by an average of 40 points. I mean, they just got blown out by Georgia last year by 40 points. Michigan beat them a couple of years ago by 40 points. The only team that they've come close against since Michigan was Tennessee, which is the worst Power 5 team in America. So hard to make an argument here.
Well, I have to go on ahead and disagree. You know, they got Troy. They did pretty well last year. And hold on, let me just segue into another discussion. I think we need to get rid. What does ESPN have? The ACC network. They got that up. They need to get rid of that and do the Sun Belt network. I guarantee the ratings would skyrocket for ESPN. They need to go on ahead and add the Sun Belt network. You can probably replace ESPN2 with that thing.
Just get rid of ESPN2 and just 24 hours a day Sun Belt coverage. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. No. Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. I'm with you. I'm with you.
Yeah. Of course.
Makes sense to me.
You're sleeping on the Sun Belt, man.
Yeah. The Sun Belt could be the next big thing. So.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. They got UL Monroe is a program in the Sun Belt. Georgia Southern, Georgia State.
UL Monroe does have a win over Nick Saban's Alabama. So.
There you go. Yes, they do. And that's the Sun Belt we're talking about here. They need to be in the playoff. Need to have 5 teams in the playoff. Give the Sun Belt Conference a bye. Let them play somebody. Let them make the national championship. They'll win every single time.
I don't know what to say. I mean, the more you talk, the more sense you make.
Exactly. I'm telling you, man. You need to get rid of all these other ridiculous networks that ESPN partnered with. SEC needs to go away. You know, the Big 12, Big 10, I don't even know who else has a network, honestly. The Pac-12 network's an abomination and a dumpster fire, you know.
Yeah.
What do they call themselves? The Conference of Champions?
Something like that.
Softball and gymnastics and track.
Yeah, something like that. Of course, they haven't won a national title in football since 1974. But, hey, you know what the other good thing is with your theory here, which is making a lot of sense to me, you can just... We can do away with the whole college football playoff and really the whole bowl system too, because whoever wins the Conference USA championship every year is the automatic champion.
Conference USA. I'm not even familiar with who's in Conference USA.
Or whatever conference you're talking about. I don't know. Sun Belt. What did you say, Mac?
Oh, Sun Belt. Come on now.
Okay. What did you say to Whack? Oh, the Sun Belt. You said.
Sun Belt.
Gotcha. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You don't even need. You can get rid of all the bowl games, playoffs. Get rid of all playoffs. Get rid of all that. Whoever wins the what conference? Sun Belt is just your national champ.
Sun Belt.
Yeah. It's just that's your national champ right there. So.
I guarantee you create like a 16-team playoff or even an 8-team playoff at this point. Honestly, you put the Sun Belt in there, they'll make it every single time to the national championship. I can't guarantee a win.
Yeah.
But I can promise that Arkansas State might go a little further than let's say Florida State, because you know they're in the absolute shitter too. So
Arkansas. Hold on, I'm writing this down. So 16-team playoff Sun Belt Conference. Yeah.
Something like that. Sure.
Florida State. Okay.
Now something else that's a little kind of big too.
You said it. You said. But hold on. You're getting too far ahead of me. You said it's not Conference USA, right?
No, it's not Conference USA. Okay. It's the Sun Belt Conference.
Not Conference USA. It's.
I don't even know what cupcake teams are in Conference USA, okay. Lou. What is the?
And you said App State.
Florida Atlantic. What is they got? Kiffin over there.
You said App State, right?
Yes, sir. App State, okay. Troy, Arkansas State.
Who Troy beat somebody last year. I can't remember who it was, though.
I believe they beat LSU, actually, which is an SEC team.
I definitely
on homecoming as well, I believe.
Yeah, I definitely need to write that down. LSU on homecoming.
Yep, there you go.
Okay. Down. Okay. Yeah, this is making a lot of sense here.
There you go. They beat them by a field goal. You beat the team.
Yeah. All right. Well, look, I really appreciate it. I'm gonna let you go. This is a little bit overwhelming here, to be honest. I mean, I just had a whole lot of knowledge dropped on me there. Let me take a step back and just kind of try to soak all that in. So. Good morning. You're on with Tinfoil Lou.
Howdy, Lou.
Hey, what's up?
It's me, Bender. I'm on my way back.
Okay, yeah.
I think it was the NWO that got to me last time. I think I bypassed their systems, though.
Okay, good. Yeah, usually the tinfoil hat I have on keep stuff like that from happening, so.
Anyway, there was one question that I wanted to ask you before you quit the show. That's why I wanted to call back.
Okay.
So, football aside, politics aside, I have the $1 million question.
Okay.
Have you or have you not seen Urinating Tree yet? And if so, what did you think?
No, I think I did look it up one time. And I might have even...
I remember you looked it up in one of your live streams.
Yeah, but I can't even remember what it's about now. So...
You need a refresher on what it's about?
I think so.
I'll give you the condensed version, but if you really need a reminder, check your comment section. There are a lot of people in there that watch him.
Okay. But
pretty much what he is, he's pretty much a sports channel who basically ribs off teams that, you know, for example, if every time the Falcons were to fail in the playoffs, he'd make a video about them. He's made videos about, like, the Browns, the 49ers, NHL. He's done MLB, too. He's done the Padres. He's done the Los Angeles Rams. Pretty much anything in the four major sports, basketball, hockey, baseball, and football. If it's in any of those sports, it checks out. It's fair game for him.
Yeah.
Anyway, he's really funny. I suggest that you give him a check.
All right. I'm writing that one down for real so that I don't forget. The last thing, obviously, I was just pretending, but yeah. So I'll watch some of those videos tomorrow. Yeah, I remember people have mentioned that a bunch of times on here, and I keep forgetting to watch it, but I'm gonna go ahead and do that tomorrow.
I understand. I just found tonight as a perfect opportunity to try and remind you.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Yeah, I'm gonna check that out for sure. And then what I'll do is maybe I'll watch. What's today? Tuesday? We have another one of these shows on Thursday. So between now and Thursday, I will watch a handful of those Urinating Tree videos. And then I will give you a Urinating Tree Uncle Lou review live during Thursday night's show. So.
All right. Even though the Capitals might be about to win it all this year, I highly suggest that you watch that video first. It is well done.
All right, the Washington Capitals. I will.
And the San Jose Sharks. I recommend that one too.
I'll just watch every single one.
Okay, you can binge watch them all night too.
All right. Yeah, I'll check it out, and we'll talk about it on Thursday.
All right, I don't want to keep you here all night. Yeah. I'll see you later, Lou.
All right, buddy. Thanks for the call, Bender. Yep, that was good. Yeah. Okay, I've had enough now. Yep, gave you guys 2 hours worth of opportunity to call and argue politics and conspiracy theories with Uncle Lou. The last 2 calls were neither politic or conspiracy theory related, which tells me that this show has ran its course. I'll probably do one of these again at some point in the future, but I don't know when, and I don't want to tie myself down to a specific time frame or anything like that. So I don't know. It could be next week, could be next month, could be a year from now. I don't know, but I'll do it at some point. Again, hopefully, well, I was about to say hopefully nobody got offended, but somebody gets offended at every single video I've ever made. So, oh, some good news though. You know how over the last couple of weeks I've been complaining about what happened to all the Ohio State fans? They used to be all in the comments section all the time, and then like as soon as the playoff committee announced their playoff teams this past December, like I don't know what happened. I've never seen an Ohio State fan again. Well, I suddenly found them all. Or they all found me again when I made that Ohio State video. Well, yesterday, I guess it was, or whatever. Comment section is infested now with Ohio State fans. So mission accomplished there. I did find a few. Hopefully someone will stick around for the football season too. But anyway, if you got offended, find a way to deal with it. I don't know what else to tell you. You know, yeah. But anyway, thanks for watching. Thanks to all the callers. Tomorrow's Wednesday, so regular call-in show Wednesday, 3 p.m. Eastern tomorrow. All sports and football, none of this tinfoil hat crap. So if you got offended or your feelings are hurt, or you've been hugging a tree for the last 2 hours because Uncle Lou said something mean about Donald Trump or whatever, you know, let go of the tree about 2:45 tomorrow afternoon. Log back into LouTube. And we'll be good to go here at 3 p.m. tomorrow. Thanks for watching, though, and have a great night also, and 2.